Hello, 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 everybody. Welcome to the 7 a.m. stream for this Open Tour single elimination game between the guys for Element Scuttle Squad, of course, and Ion Squad Academy. My name is Bobo Jack, and I have my good friend Bobo Joe here alongside me to cast this beautiful game for you guys.
Yeah, we're very happy to be here, of course. People were already able to see some games on the stream for Team Trill. We'll be taking it over for now. And we have two bangers of teams going head to head, of course, for Elements having something to prove since they are 0-2 at the moment, I believe. Is that correct? Yes. And
Yes.
yeah, of course, you don't want to keep hanging there. They already made a good comeback in the Belgian League themselves, securing their spot there. And yeah, they don't want to go home losing in this category either. So wonder what they're going to bring to the table against Iron Squad Academy, who did very well in the group stages.
Yeah, Ion Squad at this point 1-1. Scuttle Squad 0-2. So they're gonna have to, show up today on the side of Scuttle Squad to, make sure that they're still in the running, I guess, for the top 3 spot. A lot of players that, of course, we saw in the Open Tour, the qualifiers. Anything special to note here, Joe, about any of the players? Any champions that stick out that you would say this is maybe a bit of a niche pick, which could be very interesting to see today?
Well, what I'm expecting is that most of the players are going to be playing pretty much meta. The only thing I can say is that the jungler for Iron Squad Academy is a huge Cartus jungle fan, which is a pick, which is good in my opinion at the moment, but we don't see it very often. So I would like it to have it in the game here. But as you can see, that is an insta Cartus ban there.
Yeah, so we're not going to be able to see that.
That was the only interesting pick, guys. Let's go home. No.
That'll be all for us today. Thanks for watching and peace. No, so Karthus is going to be taken away. Galio, Hecarim, and Seraphine following up. Of course, Seraphine, a highly contested pick ban champion, as it's not only very strong, but also very flexible, towards the mid lane, towards both positions in the bottom lane as well. So that's going to be taken away, and we've all seen the Seraphine hit her ult, go through allies and enemies to basically be a global ultimate. So
Yeah.
you don't want to get that.
I was gonna say the range is just ridiculous when you can hit someone with it, and taking that away, it's a no-brainer. I feel when someone is playing it on the other side. So those bans are coming through, and now of course we are expecting some flex picks early, or as we see the Kai'Sa coming in, which is still considered the strongest AD carry in the meta right now. Of course, being followed by another pick like Jhin and such, who is played a lot. We are on a previous patch here as well, so normally the Samira nerfs haven't been applied yet, so that is also a possible pick, but it looks like they are going for the Jhin on the side of Skull Squad, meaning that both AD carries have been locked in.
Yeah, and as you said, Kai'Sa, definitely one of the strongest bottom laners at this point, and both Maoki and Goop, really enjoy playing her as well. So a clear first pick, as the jungler and the AD carry on both sides are locked in, with Titus going for Skarner. Of course, since Chem Tank has been reworked or buffed, I guess, giving the ability haste there instead of on the Sunfire Aegis champion like Skarner, who really benefits a lot from the movement speed as well that Chem Tank gives in that active. It's going to be a very nice pickup with the tankiness, of course, alongside the Leona, a lot of CC as well. Giving Kai'Sa the possibility to just free dish out damage.
And we're probably gonna see another support picked for elements here as well, since the bot lane from Iron Squad is fully visible. I'm expecting something like a Thresh or an Alistar, who usually matches up pretty well against the Leona, making sure that engage just can't go through freely. And the Alistar is being locked in. So bot lane, very clear, the supports will be looking for engages for their team. The only thing that I'm always wondering, especially in the meta right now, is what are you going to do with the top lane? Are you going to put someone who assists that support with the engages, because of course when your frontliners only support, that is kind of hard. Or are you going to put a split pusher there, which is something that both these top laners really, really like to play. They play the Camise, they play the Fiora, Irelia, Renekton, stuff like that. And yeah, I don't think we will be seeing something like an Ornn or a Malphite in this game.
It's always possible, and we see LeBlanc and Karma getting banned away, something I wanted to touch on before they got banned. But they've been lucky, enjoying the LeBlanc and Karma pick. Karma and LeBlanc, not only two of his most played champions, but also two of his highest mastery champions. So taking them away from him is gonna, give him a bit less choice towards that mid lane. Of course, there's a lot more that he can play. He has a champion Ocean, more or less. Things like Corki Syndra are open and can still be picked here. Syndra's pretty safe, versatile, can fit into a lot of compositions. As the top laners are going to be picked here with Sion, very tanky lineup on the side of Scuttle Squad. With the Sion, with the Alistar. And then on the other side, of course, with the Skarner and the Leona, they already have a lot of frontline with that jungler, so they can go for a bit more damage in the top lane with an Irelia.
Yeah, well, not sure if Irelia is going top
Could
lane.
go mid.
They might be able to switch around depending on what the mid laner from Forum and Scuttle Squad will be. Irelia, however, not a bad pick against the Science, since he's one of those champions that can rush the Blade of Druid King early on, making it super effective against those tanky champions, like a Scion, like an Alistar. And we'll have to see what 4Elements is gonna put up against the Viger, and they are hovering Zoe, which is quite good. She can, of course, outrange him, make sure that she is not in danger zone for the event horizon from Viger for being stunned. And I immediately also see two cleanses on the side of 4Elements. And when you are facing against a Leona and a Veigar, yeah, that's definitely what you want to pick.
Yeah, so Scuttle Squad going for it's pretty normal actually, pretty standard. If you see a Leona in the bottom lane, then the other bottom lane's AD carry is going cleanse. Basically, 99% of the time, we see that happen because it's just so much lockdown potential. If you can cleanse the first part of the CC, you can run out or flash out of the rest of the CC. Otherwise, it's just standing still for I don't know, what is it, close to 4 seconds probably with the ult, the Zenith Blade, and then of course the Q stun, which is at the end of the game 2 to 3 second cooldown. So you want to get out of that one. There's not really a lot of champions that want to stand in those stuns. So picking up the cleanse there, the cleanse on Zoe, of course against Ryazaki's Veigar, who by the way last second swapped from
Switched.
TP to cleanse as well to probably to get out of the bubble. Zoe Trouble Bubble. If you get hit by that, there's a lot of damage income.
Yeah, and let's not forget.
And he has Spellbook, by the way.
Interesting choice, but I can understand why. And we see the cleanse on Zoe. I like it especially since it's not only the event horizon that will need to be watched out for, but usually with how the champions are being played, people tend to go Everfrost as well on Veigar, which is super effective once you can hit a stun somewhere. Yeah, you're not going to move for a year with that item paired as well. So Zoe picking up the cleanse is good. And the spellbook from Viger, it will have some nice interactions with Zoe as well, because of course she can pick up any spell in the game now.
Yeah, of course, with the Zoe, what's it called? The Zoe grab bag, I guess we'll call it.
The Zoe, I sneak everything from you.
That's not what the skill is actually called, of course. But that's in general what people like to call it, the grab bag. As she gets so much value out of that skill. With the new items as well. Redemption was taken away, but there's just a lot of potential from other items that she can actives that she can pick up these days. As we do see Alistar, by the way, going Aftershock this game. We've seen a lot of Alistars going Phase Rush as well. Do you have a preference between the two, or in which situation would you go Phase Rush, for example, over Aftershock?
I kind of like the Aftershock more, But I do understand the value of phasers. Like, you can go in and out and in and out, but to be honest, against Leona, you're not going out when you go in, because you still make sure that you stay. And against a team with so much CC, you need to know that even though you have phase rush, yeah, you're not gonna outrun that. So I like the pickup from Mahonix here, that he does recognize that it will be a one-way trip for him if he goes in, that he picks up that Aftershock, as well as, of course, the Inspire tree, where he will be taking the Hex Flash, as you often see on the Alistar. Probably the same for Leona here, for Funro, who will be running the exact same Masteries as his counterpart.
It looks like he's running the exact same masteries as his counterpart. As we are gonna start loading into the game here. The sound is insanely loud in my ears, so let me just swap that around.
Drop.
Let the beat drop, boys. The beat on the Rift. Not only did the beat on the Rift drop, but the players and the champions with them as well have dropped on the Rift, as we are gonna jump into this game between the 4 Elements Scuttle squad, which of course is the academy team for 4 Elements, and the Ion Squad Academy team. Both teams looking to set up a Great Wall of China in the beginning here. No invades, but you know, we're getting ready for this game. I'm hyped. Of course, we are hype shoutcasting, so you know, it kind of fits. And then Bobo Joe, the big question. You know it's coming.
4 Elements.
Okay. For those who don't know us, we ask which team is. You have 100 euros to put your money on one of the teams. Which team do you put your money on? And apparently it's 4 Elements. So yeah.
Well, in all honesty, I don't really know. I just say it because I'm a huge Scion enjoyer. People who know me know that I like to pick up Scion once in a while, and I just think that champion is so immensely strong. I'm not sure if we'll be able to see it this game, because of course the Irelia, as I said before, she can rush Blade of the Ruined King early on. Will give Scion an extremely hard time, but he stacks up so much with his W, gets so much value from that free HP that he receives, and I just feel like he will be able to do something, because Fire can put his cage up, but he can just run through it with his unstoppable onslaught, so there is potential, and I really want to see the pick succeed as well. So if I have the gun against my head and I need to choose, and I will say 4 Elements, but I am very scared of all the CC that Ion Squad Academy is bringing to the table here, so nothing is for free for sure here.
Yeah, as in the top lane, level 2 on Irelia first off. Bottom lane, level 1, little bit of trade. But we do see Irelia hit level 2 before Admawodo's Scion. Going in for a little bit of a trade. Scion, of course, going for Grasp. Irelia for Conqueror. Irelia with Conqueror is almost too strong. You know, with her passive stacking up on those auto attacks. And Conqueror as well. Which, you know, the range on her auto attacks as well is going to be quite annoying for Admawodo, I think. I say I think because I don't play these matchups myself. I assume you will know more, as there is a little bit of a gank from Leo.
Yeah, she just runs it off, and yeah, the matchup Irelia can be really oppressive because she stacks her auto attacks, hitting enemy champions, but also when she kills a minion with her Q. Meaning that if there are a few minions low, she can just dash a couple of times, hit you once, and she's fully stacked, and she does so much damage when that passive hits full stacks. So you really want to watch out for that, as you can see that Admawodo is getting chunked out and yeah, pushed under a turret for the first blood, but the trade comes back, and I would say this is definitely in favor of Bad Pie, because the minions were pushed under a turret, and of course that extra first blood money, always nice to have.
Yeah, and it kind of does look like Irelia is going to go for a Blade of the Ruined King early on. You know, gets the Vamp Scepter as the first buy. Scion saying, no healing for you, I go Bramble Vest. First item. So, which is really funny, kind of funny to see, because Irelia wants to go for a little bit more sustain here. Scion saying, no, you're not going to get it. Of course, as you said, if once Irelia finishes that Blade of the Ruined King, she's gonna make Sion's life a little bit harder than it already is. As it looks like Skarner may be in the top lane for a gank, but also in the bottom lane there's going to be a lot of fighting here. There's the stun, there's the second stun, Youp going low, gets ignited on, but needs to flash, and Maoki with the flash auto attack. The fourth hit coming through. Are they going to find a second on Infernal? Probably not going to happen. But that is a big kill for Jhin here, and Kai'Sa's going to lose a lot of minions here.
Oh, Maoki also playing with the Dark Harvest. I love that. It just feels so good when he executes someone, gets the proc as well. It's good times all around if you're a Maoki at this point with that first blood. And I want to come back at the first buy from Bad Pie here with the Vamp Scepter. I'm not sure if anyone is following some memes on 9gag for League of Legends, but there is this meme where they say, this champion power spikes with Triforce, this champion power spikes with IE. And then at the bottom you have Irelia power spike when she has the Vamp Scepter. That's about it. So we can see Bad Pie having a huge power spike at this point in the lane.
I mean, it's kind of true with the on-hit on her Q, and of course just, you know, getting that extra healing in lane, which is going to be quite nice. If she does manage to eat some poke with a Decimating Smash, for example, from Sion, she can just really easily heal that back up. As Zoe's going to go really aggressive here in mid lane. But, you know, they're both really low on mana. Thagger's not going to be able to do a lot here. Waits for the minions to jump into his face as top lane Bad Pie does hit level 6. Amawodo might be in trouble. She gets a lot of jumpies off. Is it going to be enough? Gets Decimating smashed into the floor. There's no more flash on Sion as he burned that before. And Bad Pie picking up a 1v1 kill. And he's still half HP.
Yeah, this hurts me a little bit because I have been Amawodo at this point. But then, of course, a million times worse. And it's just not a nice matchup to do when Irelia gets ahead, and that is, of course, not respecting that pick enough at the start, but maybe they can make a counterplay. They're going in.
Ooh, Sion ult is not going to hit, not going to connect, but he does find the kill with the help of his jungler. Irelia, a little bit greedy there, staying in lane. Had the TP up, gets taken down.
That unstoppable onslaught misses, but it is just enough to close the gap and get that return kill on Bad Pie, which is definitely needed by Amawodo, because at some point, of course, Sion will become this unstoppable super tank, which is so hard to deal with. But on the other hand, we have an Irelia, we have a Kai'Sa, pretty good at tracking tanks, and of course Ryazaki on the Veigar, who just keeps stacking up, being able to burst damage. Of course, he's never gonna burst the Sion normally, but still, damage all around for this lineup for Ion Squad.
Yeah, it's going to be infinite stacking on Thagger, of course, as both supports just dancing next to each other. Now they're going to go in
again.
A lot of CC once again as the E from Mahonix had been stacked. It's not going to be enough. Youp needs to make sure he gets out of this one. A lot of CC again. This time the other way around as Mahonix is going to flash headbutt, flash pulverize, headbutt the back. Gonna find the kill eventually. Is he gonna go down? Ignite is ticking. It's not gonna be enough. Wow. And now the curtain call is gonna come through as well. Infernal needs to flash over the wall, save his own life, or it would have been a double kill. And Scuttle Squad's bottom lane looking really strong against Ion Squad.
And that's why they call this man the Mahonix man. He just goes in with the flash Q, push him back forward, kills all around, walks away with 1 HP. I mean, he gets away with murder there, basically. That's what we just saw, the Ignite not being enough barely, and it does suck if you're the Ion Squad Academy bot lane right now, because you see him walking away 1 HP, your carry dies second time, the Jhin is getting super strong and super hard to deal with, but the CS is still fine for Youp. He's doing a good job, he's not falling behind on that part, but without help, that bot lane is probably gonna snowball even more and more for Elements at this point.
And once again, Bad Pie going in for the trade with Amawodo in the top lane. Look at those auto attacks. It's ridiculous how Irelia. Well, we talked about it. The power spike. She has a Vamp Scepter, so
yeah.
You know it doesn't matter.
Bad Pie, the weaver of auto attacks in the top lane, very hard to deal with at this point. And yeah, Amawodo his tower is his best friend. He needs to stay there while Mahonix face checks the brush, but he ain't afraid.
Doesn't matter, finds a two-man knockup. Does get taken down as he was only level 5, the others were level 6. Now the Lilia needs to flash out of that one as well. They're looking for some return damage, return kills. Not going to find it as it is there as well. Bubble in mid lane. Way too much damage. Good champion design. Zoe finding more than half of Raizaki's HP in the mid lane for basically nothing. So yeah.
Just a little love tap on the Veigar.
Exactly.
Like, you can stack. I can throw a Q out once in a while and it just costs you 70% of your HP. Fair trade.
Haha.
Haha. Fun for everyone.
Fun for everyone. Except
that's-
only for Zoe.
That being said, they are still both 0-0-0, and Veigar is a little bit ahead on CS, which is exactly what he wants. Like, a Veigar, he doesn't want to outplay you at this point in the game. He doesn't want to pressure you too much. He just wants to stack that Q. That's all that he wants to do. Get those phenomenal evil stacks in the pocket, and there will be a point where he will be like dipping his toe in the water and throwing like a Q at you to see how much damage does it do already. And then you're like, hey, now you do 40% of my HP with one Q. That's not what we agreed upon. And
That's not how this is supposed to work. And this is
there
where
we
it-
are already.
That's where it happens. Q also, we go really low, and once again in the top lane, Bad Pie looking for a trade on Mawodo, doing the best he can to do some return, gets a grasp stack off as well. And yeah, now Zoe is kind of yeah, she's in trouble. Let's just say that.
Yeah, and of course, he didn't get the kill, but he did get a stack for his passive with the ult as well, because of course, every ability that he hits on his champion makes his passive stack as well, which makes it always a good trade for him when he can throw a little bit damage on your face. Meanwhile, Admawodo being at a point in the game where he has enough points in his abilities to be able to clear the wave effectively, which is something he can't do early on. And yeah, this is basically what he wants to do. He wants to clear the wave against Bad Pie, walk backwards, and be there for his team when the time comes. Because of course you do not pick Sion to stomp your lane. However, Sion can stomp lane if he gets there. But in this case, he will have his value later in the game. And Bad Pie, he wants to capitalize on his lead right now and make sure that Snowball keeps rolling. Because as long as there are no kills, this is absolutely fine for the top lane of 4 Elements.
And something interesting is that at this point we're 12 minutes into the game. It's 4-3 in kills, and both junglers have farmed, and that's basically it. So they're not really finding ganks yet. Not really finding the pressure that they would potentially want to with something like Lilia and the Skarner. Skarner, of course, does have his chem tank now. He has his ultimate as well. Will get into position a lot more easily with those items. The slightly magical footwear coming through as well from the rules.
I love that name, by the way. Just not really magical, but just slightly.
Slightly magical.
Nike, just slightly. Meanwhile, they are trying to force him off the Drake, of course. Kill Squad needs to pay some respect. The Viger cage is coming through, and this is so dangerous, but Mohonix been juking it all.
Mohonix is trying to juke it all. Curtain Skull is going to come through as well. No kills are falling yet, but then the TP from Irelia going to come through. You finds the first kill there. Shutdown from Irelia as well onto Jin, who was fed, didn't do anything really in that fight. And now Sion, big ass tank, is going to jump into everyone's face. It doesn't care.
They're all so low.
I lost the lane, but it doesn't matter. Look how low Ion Squad is. There's no more damage on the side of Scuttle Squad. Sion is the only one left. They're not going to find anyone. Look at that. Oh, the flash auto attack is going to be enough eventually to find the kill onto Irelia. And it's going to be Ion Squad winning the fight. But it was so close for both sides, really. And none of them pick up the Drake, which they probably both wanted.
In that fight, it starts off, of course, within the corridor. Event Horizon is being put down by Ryazaki, and that's where you want to fight as a Veigar, of course. You want to disrupt the environment with your stun field, and it locks up Mohonix, man, but he is able to juke so much of the skills there. Even the solar flare is being thrown on him to pick him off early on, but with the unbreakable will, he is able to keep himself alive long enough for Elements to fight back. But it is Irelia just jumping on Jin's face. Maoki not able to do anything against that, because of course Hera's so much ahead at this point. And even though the fight is close, it is Iron Squad Academy that takes the team fight win. And yeah, you kind of have to wonder if you have a scaling comp with Kai'Sa and Veigar and they're already winning the team fight, how is this game going to develop for Elements?
Yeah, and that's a really good point you make there. They do have the late game insurance, I kind of guess, with the Veigar, with the Kai'Sa, as you said, which really scale well into that late game. Of course, infinitely scaling Veigar and Kai'Sa with a couple items is just devastating for basically the tanks that the Scuttle Squad has in that Sion and the Alistar. And a lot of movement as well, of course, with the Kai'Sa, with her E, with her ultimate to dash in and jump around, as Infoneral might be in trouble here. Gets the Sleepy Trouble Bubble onto him, is going to be able to get out of that one. Titus, by the way, who was 0-0 and 1, I think, before that team fight, is now 1-0 and 4. So did quite a lot of work there in the previous team fight.
Yeah, and he's survived by a hair as well. Oh, Titus going in again with the Chem Tank. That is a little grabby. That's gonna be a dead Zoe if I ever saw one. Genie being picked up there by Ryazaki, of course, getting more stacks if he gets a kill. And counter pickup on Yup. Maoki going super low as well in the process.
Maoki went super low. He's gonna take a dirt shot. Oh my god!
This man. Where's the emote, Maoki? Darn
Please.
This is the moment for an emote.
Yeah, Maoki dashing towards his support, using his Gale Force there really well. Dashing towards his support, you know, so to get as much help and support as possible, which eventually works out. Needs to, you know, run away there, finds the bind, and Kai'Sa just not finding enough damage there. Kai'Sa, by the way, exhaust at this point, which is something we see quite a lot. But now Titus in the top lane, Unstoppable Force is going to be used. Not Unstoppable Force, Unstoppable Onslaught. This is not Malphite, it's Sion. He's dead.
Yeah, and it hurts because you're already on your half of the map in the lane. You are behind. You're in a matchup that you can't win, and like the cherry on top of the cake, that Titus comes in there to kill you. Yeah, that's just his luck at this point. And Titus, he isn't done yet.
Oh, he isn't done yet. Oh my god, look at the damage. Titus does go down eventually as a trade kill for the Lilia. Both junglers gonna fall there. Mahoney gets stunned up. His ultimate was still running, and he's able to get out of that one in his pink pajama suit.
You love to see it, the little jammies on this man. But it is eventually a trade kill, jungler for jungler. But as we said, Ryazaki always gets a little bit more value from those kills since he gets more stacks on his passive once he gets the kill. So I'm not sure if this is going the way that they want. Oh, Maoki has to pop the cleanse to get out of that one, because the Everfrost was coming through. He was able to juke it eventually. Ryazaki, of course, no ultimate, and I don't think that he is at a point yet where he can kill someone with just like a Q-W rotation. I think he still needs his ultimate to one-shot Maoki there. But he might very well do it in one rotation with his ultimate at this point, which is super scary.
Yeah. By the way, it's the Moonstone Lilia build, something we've seen a decent amount of. I like it, because there's just so much continuous ability usage, I guess, by Lilia, which procs a lot of Moonstone heals for her team. And then, of course, they have the AP damage with Zoe. Alongside the Seeker's Arm Guard with the Zhonya's coming through as the next item.
But can you heal someone if they get one shot?
No.
which is what I'm very afraid of at this point. And you can see Bad Pie just keeps sitting in the split push. She knows that if I go in the fight, I can be focused down. Not the best. And mid-jump, suppress, and there goes Zoyo. Oh, they keep going in.
And that's where the cleanse is going to come in for Zoe. Is able to jump out of that one. Event Horizon is going to come through as well. Titan's going really low. Flashes out there with Nimbus Cloak. Speedy Gonzalez out of the way. But now Irelia joins the fray as well. Maoki in so much trouble. A lot of peeling from Mahonix. The ultimate from Ryazaki's Vega going to come through. Not enough for the Alistar to get out either. As another one fight for Ion Squad Academy here. As Scuttle Squad, only one survivor. Zoe's still there for a bit of poke. First Drake went towards Scuttle Squad. This one is looking to go towards Ion, as Zoe is still there with a lot of poke. She steals it. She finds the paddle star with the field, goes down eventually. But Drake number 2 is for them. No smite on Skarner, and we are looking at a Cloud Rift this game.
Yeah, and the Cloud Rift that is just the creme de la creme for Skarner at this point, and it's exactly what he wants. You already have the Gales in the jungle right now, where he gets that extra movement speed. But if they are able to pick up the soul and he ults someone, you're never seeing that person again in your life, because he will be running Usain Bolt style back to his base with that guy. But the advantage that 4Elements does have is that with that steal from Jenny, they do have 2 Drakes at this point. So if they have all the time in the world to not feel forced to contest this Drake, but they don't have all in the time in the world with those scalers for Iron. So yeah, that's the question. How fast do you want this game to play?
Skarner's build at this point with the magical footwear. Sorry, slightly magical footwear. Then the Chem Tank. Then the Dead Man's Plate. I think he's running Nimbus Cloak as well. Phase Rush. And then Cloud Rift as well. He's gonna run so fast. It's ridiculous.
He'll be like Quinn on Earth.
Exactly. But then Skarner in a normal game.
In a normal game.
So
you better make sure that you have those frames set up, because you're gonna miss it. Oh, there they go on Lilia.
You're not gonna see him run, as Lilia's gonna go really low. Flash auto attack from Badpie. They need 1 or 2 more auto attacks. It's gonna be enough to take down Isoyu's Lilia, but now Sion as well in a lot of trouble. He's able to flash out of that one and saves his own life after losing Lilia's.
You can see that Almawodo is getting a little bit more tanky, but not that tanky, because he's full armor and Aurelia is still shrekking him. Meanwhile, there goes Kaiser with the Killer Instinct.
Mahonix is in trouble, needs to flash out as well. Is it going to be enough? Scene's Blade is not going to connect, as Alistar is able to run away, and at this point it looks like Ion has so much momentum, so much power in their team, and their snowball is rolling right in the face of Scuttle.
And they have an 8,000k gold lead in the pocket right now, and at 22 minutes, that is not what you want to see if you're 4Elements at this point. So it's really hard for them to come back, because they do not have the scaling in their favor, as we said before. If you are 4Elements right now in the game, what do you want to do to turn this game back in your favor? Because it is extremely hard at this point. Let's not forget, this is not the game that you're going to be able to turn just like that. But what if there is a shot? What is it?
At this point, it seems, as you said, it's going to be really difficult, right? They're 8k behind. We're at the 23-minute mark. Yes, they have 2 dragons, so they can look towards maybe finding some sort of sneaky, we get the Dragon Soul play. Then again, it's not the best soul for them. They need to find some sort of crazy engage, I believe, with the Alistar CC, with Sion CC, followed up by a lot of AoE damage from the Lilia, of course, and protect the Jhin. And that's going to be really difficult. He has the cleanse, but if his 2 frontliners actually go in, there's going to be... yeah, there's not going to be a lot of peel for him. It's going to be difficult for them, but I think if they find the right engage on the correct target, i.e. Kaiser Weiger, they might be able to win a fight.
Yeah, and they need to do it sooner rather than later, because of course Clock is ticking for them, and it is very scary to be a carry on the side of 4 Elements right now when you have Tidus with all the movement speed and that suppress ready to go for you, even with the QSSs on your side. I mean, the cooldown is fairly long. And you can see that Iron Squad Academy is trying to take over all the vision in the jungle, but looks like 4 Elements is going for a play. They are able to pick up you.
That's the pick they were looking for. That's the pick they wanted, but a big Solar Flare is going to connect on 2 tanks, however, so that's not the one they want. Now the Jhin Curtain's Call is going to be free, hitting on top of everybody. Bad Pie in the backline is going to be able to find a kill and survive. Gets smacked to the floor by Sion. Event Horizon coming through. Raizaki is now part of the fight. Oh no, Jhin almost, he's able to cleanse. Look at that, look at the damage.
The
He's
movement
cleansed,
speed.
he's flashed. Titus with the movement speed is going to find the Jhin eventually. Infernal going real deep. Raizaki is unstoppable right now, and what looked to be a good start of the fight for Scuttle Squad just got turned around 180 degrees by Ion, who now for sure will pick up their first Drake of the game.
Even with a pick on the AD carry of Iron Squad Academy, 4 Elements still not able to win this team fight fully, just because there is so much threat on the side of Iron Academy. Bad Pie just immediately picking someone off at the start of the fight. And Maoki, he does work, his team is peeling for him. But yeah, the front line just melts before the enemy front line does, and yeah, then you're there with the Tidus that just smites you down.
And there was so much, as you said, Maoki, he was doing work. They were peeling for him. They were really doing their best to keep the AD carry alive and basically their win condition alive. But then at the end, the Zenith Blade from Infernal was found, and he needed to use his cleanse on the Leona CC. He needed to flash away from Titus Skarner, but as we said before, the movement speed on this guy is ridiculous. So, you know, running away from him is not really an option.
Yeah, and he only has one job. He just needs to run forward, grab carry, run back. That's basically...
We didn't mention yet, but he also has Blue Smite, so he steals movement speed from his target as well.
Yeah, he just killed Maoki with the Blue Smite.
Yeah.
At the end of that fight, so that's just the injury on top of everything, and oh boy, it's Vision a Bell right now. Tidus.
Oh my god.
He gets away. This is
Hello.
like the third time. There it is, Admamono, starting of the fight.
Unstoppable onslaught by Admamono is gonna come in. He says, no, guys. Look, Skarner, you were super low. We had you. You're not allowed to get out of this one. And he just choo-choos into his face. Gets taken down for it, however, which is kind of too bad. But that was really funny. Sion just charging in on top of a 2 HP Skarner. Picking him up. So that's good.
I was gonna say this is like the third time they get out, and there is an engage from mine.
Oh, that's a really good Zonya's flash there. The Event Horizon was slightly wrongly placed. And now they maybe find the kill onto Raizaki. Mahonix now might be in a lot of trouble. Is gonna have to pop his ult, but look at the damage. So Irelia finds 3 people with her ult. They find 1, they find 2.
Oh, no.
Lilia and Alistar get picked up as if they're not even part of the game. They're minions to Ion Squad. Another Event Horizon is going to connect here. Admamono, the only one alive here, with his Zoe there as well to hopefully find some sort of damage, some sort of wave clear. Look at the damage onto Zoe. Look at Raizaki. He doesn't have any mana anymore, but he continues the fight anyways. Find inhibitor turret. They back off. The inhib is for the next round, guys.
And you can see Raizaki, he is fairly tanky with the Everfrost and the Verdant Necklace, I believe it's called, or something like that. He isn't going down just like that, even if you're able to pick him out. And yeah, that's a Baron for Iron Squad Academy. The base from 4 Elements is open. There is no control anymore for them on the red side, I'm afraid. They need to get a pick with Jenny, I guess, because we haven't seen like a great bubble land on any of the key targets early on. They were able to pick off Tidus at the start of the fight, but it was an immediate trade for Admamono, and at this point, if you get a trade for Elements, it's never good. If you get a pick, It is good, but even then, you're not sure you're gonna win a 5v4. That's how strong Iron Squad Academy is at this point. So they really need to make a miracle play to get back into this game.
Yeah, and the Scion is really tanky at this point. We're looking at his items, but it doesn't look like Iron Squad really cares about the tankiness. As Titus, look at his movement speed. He's gonna run past Scion, run into the enemy team. And in the beginning of the game, I kind of thought, look, this Skarner, how is he gonna get past the Lilia, who can pretty easily hit her Q as he walks by and find the Sleepy Trouble bubble from Zoe, the Jin snipe, of course. There's so much utility to block him from running in, but somehow he keeps finding the right time to run in. And he's playing this really well on this Garner. 3-2 and 12. Huge score for Titus, playing a really strong game on Scorpion.
King was trying something, but he's being stunned.
Big engage here as the Unstoppable Onslaught is going to come in. Look how fast they go through Admirodo. That's a squishy target for Ion Squad. He's full tank. They don't care. It doesn't matter. That might have been miscommunication as well on the side of Scuttle Squad as we find another Event Horizon. A lot of damage. Zoe, she's able to get out of that one though. Almost scrap free. And yeah, Ion Squad really not caring. Look
the
at
Killer
that.
Instinct. Oh,
Killer
wow.
Instinct. They find the damage. 3-man ult by Aurelia once again. This should be the game-winning fight, game-ending fight as well. Event Horizon is going to come through. Good flash there by Jin, however, who is able to get out of the stun. And look at Yoop on this Kai'Sa with the exhaust to find a triple kill. Is the quadra kill going to be there? Is the question. They're not going to go for a fountain dive. No quadra kill for Yoop's Kai'Sa this time around. They pick up the bottom lane inhibitor. They're gonna pick up the mid lane inhibitor. They have Baroned up minions. They have 5 versus 2 here in the enemy base. They find suppression on Scion. It's ridiculous how they can just go for the full tank Scion.
Stop it, he's already dead.
Immediately, he's dead already, boys. Leave him for what he is. And this is Ion Squad showing their extreme strength, and they know how to play this game out really well. And they just find the win, and at no point in this game were they ever really in trouble, except for maybe the very beginning where Scuttle Squad's bottom lane was actually doing quite a lot of work.
It was crazy, and as you said, the bot lane did a lot of work. Kai'Sa was 0-2. Carry, but in the end, Kai'Sa still picking up a triple kill, as if it's nothing, of course, with the whole team. And Skarner, man, it's giving me nightmares. Titus, what have you done to us?
What have you done to us? Titus playing a really strong game on Skarner, and of course the rest of Ion Squad as well. A little bit of trouble in the early game, but they managed to pull through. And Bad Pie, great job to him as well. And GG to both teams, but Ion Squad taking the win, going 2-1, and now Scuttle Squad in trouble with 0-3. We'll have to see if next week they can find their first win.
Yeah, and that will be the game for us. We will be back at 4 o'clock with the game between Echo Zulu Tribe versus 7 AM Academy, which will be casted